Alrighty, this is day 2, and today we're gonna talk about a difficult topic actually. It's gonna be deep, hopefully not too long, but still deep. Today I'm gonna thank Reto. Reto, I see you soon, hopefully. And the question is, do you feel lonely as a single founder? And if yes, what do you do about it? Yeah, what do I do about it? Do I feel lonely? Yes, it is true. Being at the top is a lonely job, unfortunately. But I have to wonder, what's the alternative? It's probably having then potentially having a co-founder, because the question is hinting toward that way. Can you actually feel lonely as even if you have co-founders? I think the answer is still yes. I've been witnessing quite a lot of bad fights between founders, and that can be ugly. So for me, I'm going to go single founder anytime, and if it means I'm going to be lonely, then I think that's okay by me. This is one of the things I learned as I moved up in the hierarchy of the company is at the ground floor, this is actually pretty fun. You got like lots of people, you share the same struggle, you speak together, and you have the same problems coming from the top, those decisions from those morons over there anyway. But as you move up, then you start to be more responsible and more detached from that ground floor, that fun vibe. You have some competitiveness that comes between different departments, or you have to provide certain results. Sometimes you take unpopular decisions, so you're not part of the crowd. And I think the higher you go, the more the stronger that is. So obviously at the top it's very lonely because you're the only one, and then you're the CEO. You can't really talk with employees about problems, and that's why you don't hear that very often, in the news. It's kind of behind curtains, those things. Anyway, kind of a long detour. Let me come back. So it's not very clear that you can't be lonely having co-founders. Like I mentioned, you can have a lot of problems having co-founder, but just assume, let's put that aside and let's talk specifically about my case. I'm a single founder. Is that lonely? And the answer is yes, it is. So what do I do about it? Few things. First of all is I do stay in touch with other people in my situation. So I have a group of really awesome founders that I've been with for more than 5 years now, and we see each other on a weekly basis, and we share a struggle. We share a lot of things about our journey, how we can do things better, and so on. And that kind of like help definitely, because it feels like coming back again to the sort of ground floor, having to work and do the things, and not having that competition between people. So I think that's very important to be able to talk, openly about our own problems, and that's not something you can do easily as a single founder. So masterminds, really great thing. If you can find people, the more similar they are to you and your business, the better it is, because then again you can relate to each other, and I think that builds better bonds. Second thing I'm doing is I'm doing podcasting with Jack. He's an awesome dude. I do that every week. I really enjoy the relationship I have with him. We've been seeing each other as well in person a few times now, and this is just friendship building over. So like you mentioned, like you will see, there is a theme between job and relationship to not being too lonely. So the third thing I do is I build a relationship with my users. This is something I do naturally, and when you feel lonely, then it is something that you do even more naturally. So that's why it's very important to find a niche in which you actually enjoy speaking to people you're gonna serve, because if you do that, then it's going to be a joy, and I think that also helps with some loneliness to some extent. Other thing I do is founder dinner. As you know, Reto, I'm really sorry the last 2 months I didn't do it. I was in Japan, the first one, and then like lately I just came back. So I'm gonna try to do it for November. So hopefully you're gonna accept, Reto, and then we can have a chat and expand more on this awesome question. And the last thing I do is, given my position, I can actually travel. So I actually travel and see friends. Like for example, I have a good friend in Japan, John Reineck, which I actually love. And every time I go there, then we do some really cool stuff together, and then we mix it with work as well. So I got a great time. Yeah, I mean, that's it. If I feel like too lonely, then I try to do things about it. And I think I put enough things in place right now in my life to not feel too lonely about it. Plus, I got a family, I got a cat, and yeah, I mean, what can I say? If you're struggling with loneliness, then I'd like to know about it. You don't have to put it as a comment. You can just, put me a private message, and I'd be happy to engage on the topic with you. That's it for today. If you have any questions, as usual, leave it. If you want me to expand on some stuff, also leave a comment. And yeah, so this is it. Thank you guys.